series of private meetings in Charlotte this weekend ahead of the convention's official start on Monday. Protesters say more demonstrations are planned through the weekend. For NPR News, I'm Nick Delk, now in Charlotte.
Boston's Northeastern University is threatening to rescind admission offers to dozens of students who said online they plan to party despite the pandemic. Kirk Carapezza of member station WGBH reports it all started with a social media survey posted on Instagram.
The survey shows more than 100 incoming freshmen voted yes to a question about whether or not they're planning to attend parties back on campus in Boston. Northeastern says the university contacted the students running the polls, and that student turned over the names of everyone who responded yes. Northeastern then sent them and their families a letter making it clear the behavior would not be tolerated in order to slow the spread of the virus. If these students refuse to sign a pledge committing to protect the campus community, administrators say Northeastern will rescind their admission offers. For NPR News, I'm Kirk Carapezza in Boston.
Johns Hopkins University says the global death toll from the coronavirus has reached 800,000. Korea, where the outbreak wasn't under control, has a resurgence of infections and is imposing strict new measures, banning large organizations and closing night spots and churches. This is NPR. Firefighting reinforcements from 10 states are arriving in California. Hundreds of wildfires, including some of the state's largest in history, have consumed more than 1,200 square miles. The most damaging are 3 clusters of blazes in the San Francisco Bay Area and wine country. 2 tropical storms are moving across the Caribbean. Forecasters say both are heading to the U.S. Gulf Coast. Tropical storm Laura is bringing heavy rain to Puerto Rico. Tropical storm Marco is strengthening and expected to cross the Gulf of Mexico tomorrow. A giant panda at Washington, D.C.'s National Zoo has delivered a long-shot healthy cub after being artificially inseminated back in March. NPR's Amy Held reports.
Born no bigger than a stick of butter, but with sizable squeals, the country's littlest giant panda came into the world at 6:35 p.m. on Friday, with legions of Mother Meisong's faithful fans witnessing and welcoming the wiggling pink panda via PandaCam. The zoo says it's too soon to separate mother and baby to determine a gender, but signs are looking good, including Meisong's nursing and cuddling the cub. At 22, Meisong is considered advanced in panda years, and the odds were against her for a successful delivery. The zoo was also cautious following a string of false pregnancies. In all, Meisong has given birth to 4 surviving cubs, this one being hailed as a miracle baby. Amy Held, NPR News.
This is NPR.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include FJC, a foundation of donor-advised funds, working to maximize the impact of charitable giving and to create customized philanthropic solutions. As I always say when I talk about bread or as a hobby or whatever, it all comes down to it just tastes great. It really is. If you're going to develop a hobby, I recommend you get one that you can eat.
Also coming up, Bianca Foster explains how supermarkets have transformed the way we shop. And we learned a Vietnamese technique of cooking with caramel. But first, it's my interview with Mark Iacono, where we discuss all things bitter, fermented, and sour. Mark, welcome to Milk Street.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So let's talk about your book, Sour, for a moment. So fermented foods are sour.
Yep.
Most of that came into being because of preservation. The Portuguese using vinegar to preserve meats, for example.
Yep.
In Ukraine today, half the food's fermented. So it was a preservation technique, which now you will be a component of taste and cooking.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, Rick, because, even as a kid, when I was kicking around growing up, it was the sour sweets that I liked best, you know, the ones with a real kind of edge of sharpness.